I'm Heather.
And I'm Claire.
We are Masterpiece Astrology.
And we're here this week without Eric, our director. He's feeling ill, so get better, Eric.
Get better.
All right, we're here with your forecast for Sunday, January 7th through Saturday, January 13th. This week sees some really intense energy between Scorpio and Capricorn. Those two signs are in a sextile aspect this week. 5 planets are involved. Sextiles are opportunities, but we have to take advantage of the opportunity to change. If we don't, it's just a lot of excitement and fuss, and I think it's fair to say we'll see that play out both personally and collectively this week. So to get started, I think on Sunday, we got Moon squaring Saturn, and that usually means feeling kind of grumpy, and that's what we wake up to Sunday morning. So.
Yeah, it could be just kind of like hitting a wall and maybe just feeling really serious. But basically this week is about transformation, but also letting go of the ego. It's kind of like if you're having a cup of hot cocoa, you really want to keep stirring because all this energy is not quite fully developed. It's just things are coming to the surface, but it's not got down to the very bottom, and it hasn't really kind of absorbed into the cup of hot cocoa, if you will. But
that's a great metaphor. It's almost like the ego is the hot cocoa powder,
right?
And it's not really able to get dissolved into this big kind of soup. We all need to participate in it,
and you can't make it happen.
Right.
You just have to realize you don't have all the information. You don't have all the answers. You think you do because that's the ego.
That's the ego that thinks it does.
So that's kind of like a power play because the cardinal signs really want action, and the fixed signs want control, and both of you are out. So basically, you just kind of have to focus in on other things that have to do with yourself, like your exercise routine or your food, whatever you're doing, good eating,
the focus, work. Right, things that are, focus on, again, things that are a source of happiness to you or a place that you can focus on, because this week with that kind of powdery hot cocoa energy, it's going to feel like our ego is going to want to act, like you just said so smartly. Cardinal signs and fixed signs this week are united by a sextile. That's not a square, it's not a hard aspect. In fact, it's thought of as an easy aspect. The problem with these easy aspects is it's easy for all that energy to just get very concentrated, confused, and we can easily get taken down the wrong path.
Right.
So if you're a fixed sign, and that means if you're an Aquarius, a Taurus, a Leo, or a Scorpio born in the first week of February, May, August or November, you're going to feel a lot of pressure this week to change. It's going to feel really uncomfortable and you're not going to want to do it, and just let your ego step aside. Yep,
get out of your own way, because the transformation is happening, and it's happening kind of on this very subconscious kind of level, and so you kind of have to let things rise up to the surface and then just sort of absorb.
And as they rise to the surface, you'll see what opportunities you have to make choices for transformation and empowerment this week that are authentic and that are real and are not part of this illusion. The other thing is, if you're a cardinal sign, if you're an Aries, if you're a Cancer, if you're a Libra or a Capricorn born in the first week of January, first week of January, April, July, or October. Those are the cardinal signs that are really, if you're born during that time this week, it's going to feel like, you're going to feel like you got to act. You got to change.
You got to do something.
You got to act. And that, again, is an illusion. Do not give in to that, because any action you take right now.
Yeah, and Capricorn is calling for patience, it's calling for discipline, and so you have to kind of work on your own stuff, but in a way that is more conducive to your life, like exercising and, that kind of thing.
Well, for sure, because Capricorn is an energy that is asking us to build structure and kind of bring form into the world, and the Scorpio energy is digging up a lot of dirt and kind of demanding emotional transformation and purging stuff that's just not serving us.
Right.
And purging often doesn't feel good. So Sunday we're aware of this energy of the Capricorn-Scorpio sextile, which is basically exact on Monday, and there's an orb of 3 days. So we're looking at Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are days where you're just going to feel a lot of awareness about, I think, power struggles in relationships, power struggles within ourselves, and power struggles in the collective. And I think it's fair to say the news cycle on Monday, Tuesday, I think it's going to kind of blow up with power struggles in politics. So
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what that's going to bring, and we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, if you find yourself stuck, that means you're focused on the wrong thing.
That's really elegant and simple advice for this week, because the Scorpio fixed energy gets stuck, and if you find, if you're really obsessing about something, get out of the way. It's not going to go anywhere good this week.
Yeah, so that's basically Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Kind of going into Thursday.
Wednesday, can I just say the Wednesday night when Mercury goes into Capricorn Wednesday night? And
That's
so,
right.
So it does begin, that's when the shift kind of begins.
Yeah, and a methodical.
Our brains get
Mercury's all about methodicalness. And
logical, you said.
logical.
It's going to allow us
Being
to kind
Spock.
of, being Spock. And
Bring in your inner Spock.
well, it's going to, again, the logic, the planning, the logistics. This Mercury energy will help us kind of ground our ego and allow us to kind of take steps mentally and change. We're going to really be aware of power, I think, and how it impacts us. So.
And then Thursday is kind of like also feeling more aggression, trying to move, really wanting to push an agenda forward. Again, it's not really something that's going to happen, so you just kind of have to push your own agenda for your own self.
Excellent.
And then kind of, I think another undertone of the latter part of the week we had discussed earlier, where you said the opportunities to transform our values are going to be highlighted by the end of the week, right?
Yeah, I think Venus in Capricorn this week is really, it's getting hit by Scorpio, it's getting hit by Pluto, it's getting hit by the Sun, and Venus is our values. And so we're going to have opportunities, I think, on Friday when Friday and Saturday, especially Saturday morning. Sorry to jump ahead, but Venus does square Uranus Saturday morning. So I think during the week we're kind of building an awareness of our values, and values in terms of money, values in terms of people, values in terms of resources, what's important to us.
And the collective consciousness, which
Exactly.
is everybody in the world and in our country.
Right, so our values and the way people talk about values this week, and again, what Heather said earlier, if you're finding you're kind of stuck, let go of that and put your attention somewhere else, because I think this week you're going to really find yourself stuck on values.
Yeah, somehow being challenged.
Right, and what's important to you, really getting challenged.
And as you said, it is Venus is getting a makeover.
I think that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, but it is a week of Venus getting a makeover, because, again, Venus is beauty, but Venus is also, again, values. So, very important things to keep in mind. I think, as Heather said, Thursday is definitely a day where there's aggression possible. Mars and Jupiter this week are again, as they have been, they're really enmeshed.
Yeah.
That principle of aggression melded with Jupiter, which is growth. And there's a lot of ways this can go. We can be compelled to really deeply look at our own motives and purge, again, what doesn't help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some competitiveness in the outside world. Might be feeling a little confrontational, agitated.
Yeah, I think so. And this energy is also squaring the North Node in Leo, which is calling us to really express the highest expression of ourselves in the world and bring that light into the world. This Scorpio stuff is squaring that, and Scorpio then kind of drags us down a dark path if we're not careful. So don't give in to the drama, folks.
Nope.
So we got a little bit of aggression on Thursday. Friday in the morning, we got Mercury and Saturn in Capricorn, and that's going to be potentially it could be depressing because it kind of puts a kibosh on the way we think, and it's making us aware of our limits, and yet it also could be very welcome. Yeah,
but it also could be just kind of a processing the week kind of day, and like, thank God the week's over.
Yeah.
Kind of day.
And Saturday, Venus again squares Uranus in the morning, and that's going to kind of be the bookend to the week, because at that point, I think we're going to be confronted with some of the ways our relationships are limiting us, or our values are limiting us,
or how we are limiting ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, sidestep the ego.
I think that's a really good advice for this week. It's really intense with the Capricorn, the Pluto, the Scorpio, deep Scorpio themes.
Yeah.
So Venus has a makeover. Things are coming to the surface. step aside from your ego.
And allow the transformation to happen.
Yeah, allow it to happen this week. Just allow change to happen. Get out of your way. The power struggles are intense, and that's my advice.
We have inner conflict as well.
Inner and outer, we're going to see it wherever we look. So focus on what's meaningful for you, and be aware of how you're guided to transform this week.
All right.
All right.
Well, that wraps up this week in Masterpiece Astrology. Join us next week. Hit the little subscribe button if you like what you see, and hit the little notification bell so you can get notifications when we upload our latest video.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.